So, saying what you're saying about being part of the collective consciousness of creation, do you feel that the individual ego gets in the way of that then?
Well, you look at Shaolin, and I think the idea of we look at evolution as human beings. People really have a misconception of what it's representing. To true Shaolin, which is lost because even the temples fell, no matter what, because of politics and because people attaching to things. I think now we have an opportunity because the world has become so small through the internet, through being able to communicate. We have an opportunity now to really blossom and grow, to really experience what we can be as an organization if we can just evolve from that. But true Shaolin is first stripping away the ego. It's almost like getting naked in front of your partner and recognize. When you think about sex, and when you think about sex on a different term, and you look at terms like the vulnerability that's in sexual acts is amazing. Because it's two people at their most vulnerable point of their lives just coming together as a team. So when you're not looking at it as a matter of lust, if you're not looking at it as a matter of this, that, and the other thing, or pleasure, you're just looking at the vulnerability of two people showing themselves to one another in their most vulnerable part of their lives. It's like stripping everything down and just being there. It takes on a different meaning. And when you look at ego the same way, if you take on the ego and you just put the ego in its place and you strip it down, first confronting all the things that make you uncomfortable, first dealing with all the things that are uncomfortable. So when you're standing in front of a person that you're challenging or moving against, true sparring is not about beating the person. It's about becoming the person. And that way you learn about wood element, you learn about earth element, you learn about fire element, metaphorically speaking, and what they represent and what they represent in you, which eventually brings you into understanding all those elements, which brings you into void, which brings you into endless creation. Because we're always recreating ourselves. And that's the goal. If you become happy in the sense of where you are, that's a nice thing. I think that would be great. I would love that. But it's always about a journey. It's always about recreating the self, re-understanding the self. So, yeah, I think ego, whatever that may be, as far as what we classify as ego, has to be something that you have to confront. And have to deal with. And an ego of the human race is the way that we are, and it's great because we've survived up to this point because of it. But now we're at a point where we really need to break down those egos and move beyond the brainstem and get more into the material of what the mind is and what it really represents. To me, we're still in our survival mode. But we have all this gray matter that we're just not using, And basically, if you look at the mind, the brain is just this massive computer. But we have the ability of evolving energetically, through that. And if you look at the universe as a body, and we're just an organism that lives within the body of self-discovery, then you don't look at the universe as being something that's just there. You look at everything as being alive. And where you move through that, and how you move through it, and what level you come into understanding is all part of the journey. And even in the end, if it just ends, then who cares? Because it doesn't matter anymore at that point. But it just doesn't feel right. I don't think that the universe is that poorly designed. That everything has a level and everything has an awakening and understanding. And to me, we're walking in this universe. You have the sun, the most powerful thing that we know. The sun goes, we go. Right? The sun doesn't know it's going to go, at least as far as I don't know. It doesn't have a brain that says, okay, I'm going to blow up now, kill everything. The cool thing is that you're going to go. You're as small as you are, as insignificant as you could be to that sun, you have conscious awareness that I'm going to die. That's cool. Because to have that level of understanding shows that your energy is alive, it's a part of something, and that everything, I believe, energetically, invisibly, is chi, is interconnected. It's what you do with that that allows you to explore that interconnectedness on all the different levels of understanding.
There's a great metaphor of the vessel being, like the human vessel being like the center of an hourglass, where you have all the time in the future and the weight of the sand above, but it's all passing through you. So really, in time aspects, it's all future, present, and then whatever the mound at the bottom is the past. But also, if you look at it as you're the macro and microcosm of the universe, where the universe in all of its infinite expansion exists, but really it's only you experiencing it. And then everything inside you, down to strings or whatever, fractal.
So why did the universe create you? Because you're here to experience. It's here to experience itself. Therefore, that is, to me, is what God is. You would coexist. You're moving with it. You're learning about the God that's within you. I don't know, because we're limited to who and what we are with our knowledge and who we are within our society and our realm. What we think possibly may be after existence. But I don't have an opinion. Maybe death, Natasha, maybe death is nothing more than a perception of where you are and who you are at that time. And that coexistence may be. I don't know. But I do celebrate that I don't know. And I like that I don't know. And therefore it allows me to know. Because I know that I don't know nothing.
And perception can always change.
Yeah. Perception of reality. You're always growing. Always experiencing. Always moving. And that's what I believe, where the Kung Fu or the Shaolin and all this, it allows you to challenge it in a way, because there's no absolutes, there's no definites, there's only challenge. And when you can really confront and build up enough character and personality to be able to challenge it and face the ramifications of your challenge and not lie to yourself, then you're also able to take another step beyond that one. You can't just say, oh, this is it, this is terrible, this sucks, and that's the end of it. No, that's where you are now in your state of consciousness and your state of being. Now the challenge is moving through it. Some people come to a wall and they hit that wall and they sit down and that's as far as they go. Some people see that wall and they climb over the wall. I don't see a wall. All I see is something really little to step over. And when I reach it, it's just a matter of going, boop. And to me, death is the same representation. It's not a wall. It's just this little divider that you just need to step over.